Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David Marshall, and we're time for another deck tech. We're standing with Andre Mueller. Andre is 7-1. He's already through to day 2. And tell us about the deck you got spread out here before us. What are you running?
All right, today I'm running the Enduring Ideal combo deck. It pretty much focuses on using a lot of mana acceleration, 4 Lotus Bloom, 4 Penta Prism, 4 Seething Song, along with 11 sacrifice lands. And then to power out the Enduring Ideal, that you can also fetch with Burning Wish, the 4th copy is in the sideboard. Oh, sure. And then what you want to do is, with this enchantment, you want to first get the Dovescape to get other players unable to play spells anymore, so they cannot disrupt any of your enchantments.
So you'll go get Dovescape first?
You get, usually, unless you're dead on the board, in which case you want to either get Solitary Confinement or Form of the Dragon if you want it a little bit more risky.
Okay.
You get the Dovescape first, so they have one more turn. In that turn they can kill you, they cannot play any spells, they can just cast creatures. And then the turn after that you usually get the Solitary Confinement, and you at least need to have 1 card in your hand, or have drawn the Mikokoro to upkeep it continuously. Okay. And when you have 1 card, then next turn what you do is you get the Honden of the Seeing Winds, and then you draw a card with the Honden every turn, you discard it to the Confinement, so you never run out of fuel. The opponent can neither attack, damage, nor target you ever again. Okay. And so when all is safe, you can safely go down to 5 life from the Form of the Dragon, drop it into play, and then dome the opponent a couple of times until they're dead.
Nice. And sounds like it's been working great for you.
Yes, it is possible to kill this deck with very specific sideboard hate. Yesterday there was big talk about Ronom Unicorn, Carnival of Ancient Law, whatever, being sold out. So people were trying to get those specifically to combo the deck. You see how Dovescape only neutralizes non-creature spells, right, so sure. Creature, enchantment, destruction is real bad. We already joked about losing to Absolver Thrall maybe in this Pro Tour. But this card we were most scared of actually was Venser Shaper's Haven. With Riptide Laboratory, that really puts the hammer on us. Okay. But so far we dodged all of those. So
who else is running the deck?
There you're asking me a hard question. In playtesting, pretty much most of the Germans had the deck, but then later on many, like some people, switched to rather playing Affinity, or what was very popular with the Germans as well was a Beast Rock deck with like Ravenous Bailoff, the Spirit Monger, and just all remove it to crush the beatdown decks. But I figured since this beats the beatdown decks just as well, and also is good against the Rock deck, we might as well run this.
All right, so this has been a very popular deck on Magic Online in the Premier events for a while. What's different about your build than the version that we've been seeing on the Magic Online tournament scene?
Pretty much the Magic Online version has more explosive potential, but less stability, to put it this way. We are running full 4 Sensei's Divining Top to protect against disruption, along with 6 fetch lands, so we can sometimes grab a new outlook on 3 different cards, so that even when Duress and Cable Therapy hit all our hand, on the top we might find what we need still to beat the opponent anyway. Because if they do disrupt us, they tend to be very slow. Of course they can drop perfect beatdown draw, and then the disruption, then of course they win. It's a game of luck and skill after all. But usually in the top you can then still find what you need, and to make that work we cut some of the sacrifice lands. The online version had only sacrifice lands and chrome boxes, so we put that out to put the tops in, and we needed to get a few more slots. So what we did was throw out the Insidious Dreams Draco Explosion engine. That was kind of clunky in the first place, because we figured that if we just stuck massive mana acceleration in there, good land base with 4 Sensei's Divining Top, we will usually get a hand we can keep with either top, Burning Wish, or Enduring Ideal, sure, with enough mana to set up the game, so that we do not need either the Dreams or the Explosion.
Now you had at least one game where, even though you didn't draw the Enduring Ideal, you were able to actually cast all the parts of your deck, right?
Yeah, that was pretty lucky and fun. The Rock guy, I couldn't draw an Ideal for my life, but it was no problem. Since I had the Solitary Confinement, the opponent had the board full of creatures, but he just couldn't break through, and he couldn't discard me either, so I had enough time to play the Honden and discard the last card of my hand into the Solitary Confinement, and use the Sensei's Divining Top to draw the Dovescape onto the top and play it, and put the opponent into the lock without even resolving the thing. But usually if you win without resolving the Ideal, it involves Form of the Dragon. You just plop it down, and if they don't have flyers or 5 direct damage, then they can't win.
Sure. Any cool technology in the sideboard?
Not really. In the sideboard, we figured out that we were going to be playing against a lot of dredge decks, so no surprises here. 3 Tormod's Crypt, 4 Leyline of the Void. Those kind of after sideboarding game 1's pretty bad against the deck. If we win the die roll, it's a die roll. If we lose the die roll, we're dead. That's pretty much sums it up. But after sideboarding, 7 hate cards are usually enough. And then there's of course 3 Bosejus for beating counterspell decks, like decks that run the actual counterspell. You want to have the Boseju because you cannot rely on Orim's Chant against counterbalance and Sensei's Divining Top. So and the other 5 cards are targets for the Burning Wish, Morning Tide, Kill the Dredge guy, Cranial Extraction for the mirror match. Expect that Dovescapes in game 1 and game 2 it gets a little bit trickier. There you always the Bosejus come in as well, because the Dovescapes then are unable to neutralize your spells, you can still press them through. And then Pyroclasm to kill Meddling Mage along with his friends, and Vindicate just for whatever. I didn't know, I thought people was going to play every deck, so you best have Desert Twister in your sideboard to kill whatever comes up and that nobody was prepared for.
Well, there you go. Enduring Ideal. I've been watching the top tables. There's a lot of this running around at the top tables. This may be the deck of the weekend. We'll see. Getting late into day 1, day 2, whatever day today is. Andre's in great shape. He'll be playing tomorrow in those last Swiss rounds. I think we're going to see some of this in the top 8. There you go. That's the scoop for Enduring Ideal. For Brian David Marshall and Andre Mueller, this is Randy Bueller. Stay tuned for more Tournament Center.